So everybody's extremely excited because the Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer came out the other day, and while I wasn't super blown away by it by any means, I definitely have a lot of faith in that movie because of how literal perfect and perfection the trilogy before it was. And I think that people don't quite understand how great the Kung Fu Panda movies actually are. Sure, it's the typical kids animated movie, but when you find yourself in a place where this first movie was incredibly successful, they decided to make a second movie, which introduced more adult terms and more seriousness to it, and the third one still kind of going down a similar path, but at the same time, still having that kid nature and adapting and appealing to a younger audience, also appealed to adults too. And I feel like that's what a lot of successful animated movies do today. And Kung Fu Panda, in my opinion, put out 3 really great movies and arguably a phenomenal trilogy that stands above a lot of movie trilogies that we've gotten today. Now, with the 4th one coming out, this movie's going to be a quadrilogy, or the series will be a quad trilogy. And to my knowledge, it's probably going to be the end of Kung Fu Panda, at least in theatrical. I guess we got to figure out what they're going to do, but it's kind of seeming like they're setting up like this is going to be the last one. And that checks out. This series has been going on for a really, 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 really long time. They put out 3 phenomenal films. I'm sure this 4th one's going to be really good. The shows that they put out, not exactly for me, but it's the films that I wanted to talk about today. The Kung Fu Panda trilogy, whilst it is incredibly silly to say that out loud, is really perfect. There's not a lot of flaws in these films. It has a very simple narrative, sure, but that's not really what I want to talk about. The comedy and the thing that appeals to kids is great. Jack Black does a phenomenal job, but it's the serious moments in these films and the way that they were created that kind of round these films off to being really great stories. I mean, they bring in themes about finding yourself, believing who you are, figuring out who you were in the past, overcoming your one self, adult themes in a mental aspect that have become a little more serious in the last couple years as mental health becomes more a concern. And I'm not saying that Kung Fu Panda is purposely making movies to tie it into mental health. I think that the struggles that Poe as a character has to overcome, I think a lot of people can maybe relate to today. The animation style of these movies only got better of time. If you don't believe me, I think that like Kung Fu Panda had 3 had some really great animation to it, but I think the second one is just a gorgeous, gorgeous film. If you don't believe me, go back to the final confrontation between Poe and Shin. I believe that's his name. Shin Shang. I can't remember. Shin, I believe. And when Poe's in the water, you could see the water on his fur and the effects from the cannonball flying at him and just how beautifully done that all looks and feels. It's incredible. Cinematography is absolutely beautiful. The animation's absolutely stunning. And the stories that they've written were phenomenal. Comedy aspects, it's Jack Black. Of course, it's going to be funny. The incredible, incredible cast of characters that they put in this movie. I can't even name anybody or everyone, but like Angelina Jolie, Seth Rogen, J.K. Simmons, the actor who played fucking Tai Lung, now I can't remember his name, played Winston and John Wick. God, what was his name? It's early, but you get it. Just an unbelievable cast of characters that are all led by the lead, which is Jack Black. And yeah, like I said, he does a phenomenal job in the comedy aspect, but what he also brings forward when it's time to get serious, he's the right guy for the role. The really good thing that Kung Fu Panda does in the trilogy is they bring forth phenomenal villains. Everybody loves Tai Lung. I love Shin. J.K. Simmons as Kai was phenomenal. They all bring forth their own internal struggles and issues that make it a little serious for a kid's movie. And I think that's why it stands the test of time today. Kung Fu Panda 4, everybody's pretty excited about it because it's going to be bringing forth a lot of the old villains, while the new villain is still, I'm sure, going to be great. And also is going to have a struggle for Po as he's going into a different stage of his life of not being the Dragon Warrior anymore. So I guess I'm just making this video because I wanted to talk about, like, yes, these movies are made for kids, but it's the movies that are made for kids that can appeal to adults too, that have a message that I think stick with people for a long time. Those are the ones that succeed. That's why Pixar movies do so well. And DreamWorks, to their own effect, I mean, they have the How to Train Your Dragon movies, and those are all great too. You get a great cast, you get a great main character, you get great villains, and these movies stand up to the best of them. And I just want to make this movie because while Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming out soon, and if you are an adult today and when these movies came out you were a kid, and you don't remember how good they are, I urge you to go back and watch them because they are really, really, really great films. So yeah, go watch Kung Fu Panda 1, 2, and 3, Kung Fu Panda 4 coming out soon. Peace, love, bye.